Hi, I'm Grace and I live in Japan, and it's a little bit hot today, so I've got a bit of a shiny face going on. Today's video is reasons I love living in Japan. Next video I think I'm going to make is reasons I hate living in Japan, but mainly I love it. Number one is the baths. I love going to a Japanese style onsen, which is a hot spring. They're amazing, but I also love the bath and bathroom in my own house. I really like the fact that the toilet is in a separate room to the rest of the bathroom. So there's no awkward I need to go to the toilet but someone's in the shower kind of thing. Not only that, but I really love the way the bath works. Let me show you. So here is the bathroom. So you've got a kind of showering area bit and the bath, and it's all like a wet room in together. It's a bit wet on the floor actually because husband's just had a shower, but I fancy a bath. So let's pop the plug in. And you're probably wondering oh, where's the taps? Where am I going to fill that in from? Well, here we are. Okay, so we just have this one, which is Jido, and I want it at 42 degrees, and I want it this full. So not all the way full because I don't want to waste too much water, and that should mean it's there it goes, and it will just fill up and keep at the temperature you want and the level you want for as long as you want. And then we have these plank bits that can go over, so if you want to keep it and try and keep it warmer for longer, maybe someone else wants to use the bath after you, because it's normal to have a shower and then get in the bath, so you're not making the bath unclean, you can do that. So I'm gonna have a nice bath. It does take a while, but this will play a little tune when it's done. Reason number two, going out and eating. I love to eat and it's relatively cheap here, but one of the things I love most is that I can go on my own. There's a real solo eating culture here, which we don't really have in the UK. I think if you went into a restaurant on your own in the UK, it would be a little bit oh, for one person, yeah, okay, come and sit here. But in Japan it's one person, okay, yep, all these other one people enjoying their lunch on their own, enjoying their own time. I don't feel pressured to be going out to eat with anybody else. I can go and do that on my own. Obviously there's some restaurants and places to go which are very much more for more people, but most places are very, very friendly for solo eating. So if you're coming to Japan and you're a solo traveler and you're I'm not really sure I want to go to restaurants and cafes and things on my own, it's fine. You're absolutely fine to do that. Do not feel embarrassed, do not feel uncomfortable. There's a real solo eating culture here, which I love. I'm on my own for lunch, and so is that guy. And so are pretty much everybody else in the restaurant, apart from the noisy people next to me. Number three, going on from the eating, convenience stores. The food in the convenience stores is so fresh and so nice. I was so surprised because convenience stores in the UK are pretty rubbish. I would say sort of corner shop type convenience stores are very much for the bits you need, like milk and bread. They're not there to get a meal. Whereas in 7-Eleven or Lawson or Family Mart, I can go in and I can get a freshly prepared meal, and I can get a delicious sandwich, and I can get a coffee that's just made fresh. It's so fresh and delicious and convenient because the most of them are open 24 hours. So I can go in, I can get what I want. Maybe it's 3 a.m. and I really fancy a coffee, or maybe it's 5 in the morning and I'm really up early for something and I want some nice good breakfast. Well, I can get it. The one thing about that is a lot of the time there's no eat-in. Some of them have eat-in facilities, but it's really, you take your meal, they can warm it up there for you, which is fantastic, and you go. There's not really a place there to eat it, so you've got to think about, am I going to eat this in the park? Am I taking this home? Is this coming back to work with me? What am I doing with this food? Because you can't really eat a bowl of wonderful noodles on the street. Also, things you can do at convenience stores. You can print things, you can print photographs, you can do photocopying, there are ATMs, you can buy tickets for concerts, you can pay your bills, you can send post. I think you can do pretty much everything you ever need at a convenience store. Reason number 4, It's clean. Japan is really clean. The streets are clean. Generally, I mean, I have been to places where I've been like, this is a bit dirty. But generally in the UK, if you're around, you'll be like, if it's dirty, it's not a surprise, sadly. And I think in Japan, if it's dirty, it is a surprise. You're like, oh, there's rubbish on the floor here. Woo, woo. And people take their rubbish home. So rather than just leaving their trash everywhere, it's kind of amazing. And it does keep things very clean because people are very responsible with it. Generally, I can walk around and then my shoes won't be dirty when I come back. And there won't be gum underneath desks at schools. And it's just not an unclean place. It's just a clean place to be, which I love. Shh, it's really quiet. Reason number 5, I love the quiet. Yes, I love the quiet. I love the fact that people really respect each other's silence. So our neighbors won't make any noise really because they don't want to disturb us, and we'll try really hard not to like play music loudly after like 8 o'clock because that'll disturb the neighbors. And generally on trains, especially in the mornings when you're going to work, you can hear a pin drop. It's amazing. Like you'll be rammed with people like this, holding onto the, what do you call that, the handle, and waiting on your train, and it'll be dead silent. It'll be so quiet. It's amazing. And I love that. And you can really tell when someone's talking because it cuts through the silence. Not all trains are quiet. I mean, especially in Osaka, people are always talking, always noisy. It's quite different. But in general, in Japan, it's very quiet here. Reason number 6. As you might be able to tell from my channel, I love fashion and beauty and all of those things. And albeit it doesn't always fit me, I do love wearing the fashion. I love going out shopping here. I love the cute fashions. I love the fact that you can be cute and girly and there's no age range for that. I used to have a teacher at one of my schools and she was 57 and her whole desk was Minnie Mouse. And nobody batted an eyelid. I mean, people might have been like, wow, she really likes Minnie Mouse. But there's no like, ooh, that's for children. That's not okay. You can't be an adult and like cute things. I see like grown women with like Hello Kitty stuff and it's absolutely fine. It's nice to be girly and all styles are kind of accepted. So being cute can be a way of life here with absolutely no problems. No one can tell you otherwise. Of course, no one in your own country should tell you otherwise anyway. Ignore the haters, you do you. Trains, going back to the quiet and the hearing the pin drop on the trains are quiet and they're on time. Yes, the trains are on time, mostly, all right? It says what platform it's going to be on. And you have the fast service, and then you have a local service, and then you have like a semi-local service, which is amazing because they're all going the same place, but you get there faster or slower or get off at the station you need to if you want to. But in the UK, like if I'm going from Peterborough, that's where my family lives, to Birmingham, that's where I went to university, there's one service and it stops at 8 o'clock and goes to the same stations and it's rubbish. And there's rubbish on it and it smells and you might not get a seat. And if you do have a booked seat, someone's probably sitting in it. In Japan, there's really none of that. The only seats you book on trains tend to be for the bullet train, the Shinkansen. Otherwise, seats are a bit of a free-for-all. And everybody just queues where the door is going to come, exactly where the door is going to come. You know where the door is going to be and you queue 2 lines in and people are so polite. They wait for the people to come off and then you go on. There's no like, gotta get on the train, gotta get on the train, gotta get that seat. Yeah, everybody wants to get that seat, but they've queued up. So the person who's at the front of the line will get the seat because they've been there longer. Logical. The trains tend to be very comfortable. Even if you're standing, they feel quite spacious. Trains will take you most places. I even find that even if you live in the middle of nowhere, there's a train that's going to take you there. Even if it's not like a service that's on every hour, there's a train that's going to take you there, or a bus. Like the public transport here is amazing. You don't need a car in Japan if you really don't want. And I have lived in the middle of nowhere and I have lived in a city. And even when I was in the middle of nowhere, there was a bus or a train that was going to take me to somewhere. I've stopped counting entirely. I'm not sure what number I'm on. But the most important reason for me why I live in Japan is safety. Of course, I live with my husband here, he is Japanese, but if I didn't feel safe, if I didn't feel all right living in Japan, he would happily move to the UK or another country with me. But I feel safe in Japan. I used to go running in the park on my own at night without worrying. I have left my phone in my bicycle basket, gone shopping, been like, oh my God, where's my phone? It's been in my bicycle basket for 5 hours and it's still there. No one has taken it. A nice brand new iPhone as well. I have left my MacBook on the desk at Starbucks while I've gone to the toilets, and no problem when I come back, it's still there. I leave my bag on my chair with my valuables in it to save my space while I go and do my order at a cafe. Japan is such a safe country. Of course, there are bad people in every country, but in general, Japan is so safe that I feel very comfortable living here as a woman. Story time. When I went back to the UK, one of the first things someone shouted at me was, "Oi, big baps." Great, thanks, good. 10 minutes later, I got offered some drugs. Thanks, don't need that. I felt so unsafe in the UK to how it is here. Like, people might look at you or maybe talk to you, but it never really feels particularly dangerous. I've had some weird encounters in Japan, yes, but nothing that's ever made me feel that particularly unsafe as I did just going back to the UK. Those are my top reasons why I love living in Japan. If you live in Japan, why do you love living here? If you visited Japan, what did you love about it? I want to hear from you. Comment down below. Like and subscribe for more content. Bye!